This video corresponds to the third lesson in the Rational Numbers Part 1 packet, and you will complete the notes on pages 9 and 10 as we go through the video. First up is the warm-up. If you haven't done the warm-up yet, please pause the video and do that first, and then come back and watch for the answers. For number 1, the common factor of 5 and 10 other than 1 would be 5. Number 2, the common factor of 9 and 12 is 3. For number 3, the common factor of 20 and 24 would be 2 or 4. And on number 4, the common factor of 10 and 14 would be 2. On number 5, you're looking for the factor pairs of 48. You could have one row of 48 and 48 rows of 1. That would be the same thing. You could have 2 rows of 24 or 24 rows of 2. 3 rows of 16 or 16 rows of 3. 4 rows of 12 or 12 rows of 4. And 6 rows of 8 or 8 rows of 6. Now for the challenge problem. I started with the last clue. If you divide by 5, it has a remainder of 4. That means the number is either going to end in a 4 or a 9. Then I look at the previous clue, says divide by 4 and has a remainder of 3. That tells me, first off, it needs to end in an odd number. So it can't end in 4. So therefore it must end in 9. The first clue says if I divide by 3, it has a remainder of 2. So I'm going to list out the numbers that end in 9s, and then I'm going to run through and see if they have a remainder of 2. 19 divided by 3 is going to have a remainder of 1. 29 has a remainder of 2 when I divide by 3, so that's a possible answer. 39, it goes into evenly, no remainder. 49 has a remainder of 1. 59 is a possibility. 69, it goes into evenly. 79 would have a remainder of 1. 89 would have a remainder of 2. And 99, it goes into evenly. So my choices right now are 29, 59, and 89. So back to my rule for 4. It has to have a remainder of 3 when I divide by 4. 29 divided by 4 is going to have a remainder of 1. That doesn't work. 59 divided by 4 is going to have a remainder of 3. 56 and then 3 left over, so that one works. 89, 4 goes into 88, it would have a remainder of 1. So the number that works for all 3 statements is 59. Now we're on example 1 at the bottom of page 9. The missing word is equivalent. E-Q-U-I-V-A-L-E-N-T. Equivalent fractions are simply different expressions for the same non-zero number. To create fractions equivalent to a given fraction, you multiply or divide the numerator and denominator by the same number. The math law says what you do to the numerator, the top, you must also do to the denominator, the bottom. But what you're doing must be a multiply or divide. You can't add or subtract and keep them equivalent. Find 2 equivalent fractions to the given fraction. We can choose whatever we want to multiply the 5 and the 7 both by. So we could do 5 times 2 and 7 times 2. We would get a new fraction, 10 over 14. We could also do 5 over 7 and multiply them each by 3. That would give us 15 over 21. We could multiply them both by 10. That would give us 50 over 70. You can choose anything you want. We can't divide 5 and 7 by the same number because they don't have any common factors other than 1. Now let's look at 6/12. We could multiply the numerator and denominator both by 2. That would give us 12 24ths. In this case, I could also divide 6 over 12, both of them by 2. That would be like simplifying it, and I would get 3 over 6. I could even divide them both by 6. My original fraction, 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 12 divided by 6 is 2. So 6 twelfths, 12 24ths, 3 sixths, and 1/2 are all equivalent fractions. They represent the same number in different ways. Now we're on the top of page 10. The first blank is prime. Relatively prime numbers have no common factors other than 1. A fraction is in simplest form when the numerator and denominator are relatively prime. That doesn't mean that they're prime numbers. It just means you can't divide them by anything else in common other than 1. That's how you know it's in simplest forms. Let's look at these. Write the fractions in simplest forms. One of the methods we learned yesterday for simplifying fractions was to use prime factorization. 18, if you do the factor tree, is equal to 2 times 3 times 3, and 24 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So you'll want to cross off common factors. They have a 2 in common and a 3 in common, and then what's left is a 3 on top and 4, 2 times 2 would be 4 on the bottom. So 18 24ths, when we simplify it, equals 3/4. 3 and 4 have nothing other than a 1 in common for common factors, so that's how you know it's in simplest forms. On the next one, let's give the denominator a 45. We're going to simplify 15 45ths. We can still use the prime factorization method. 15 would be equivalent to 3 times 5 if you do a factor tree. And 45 is equivalent to 3 times 3 times 5. We're going to cross off the common factors of 3 and 5. We have no numbers left on top, so that means we're left with a 1. And on the bottom, we're simply left with a 3. 15 45ths simplifies to 1/3. You don't need to use prime factorization method to do this. You could also have looked at 15 over 45 and divided both of them by 15, the GCF. That also would give you 1/3. Now we're on example 3. We're going to fill in the missing number with a 28. We want to determine whether each pair of fractions is equivalent by renaming them with the same denominator. So we have 4 over 6 and we have 28 over 42. We want to know if these are equivalent. We need a common denominator for 6 and 42. Well, 6, if I multiply that by 7, gives me 42. So I need to do the same thing to the numerator. 4 times 7 will give me 28. 4 6 is equal to 28 42nds, so I know my two fractions are equivalent. Now for the next example. Let's fill in the missing number with a 25. We want to determine if 6/10 is equivalent to 20 25ths. So we need common denominators for 10 and 25. That means we need to know the LCM. What do 10 and 25 both go into? Well, 25, the next multiple of that would be 50, and that works for 10, so that is our LCM, our least common denominator. We're going to make both denominators 50. Now 6 over 10, the 10 is being multiplied by 5 to get to 50, so I'm going to do the same thing to the 6. Multiply that by 5, that becomes 30 50ths. For the other fraction, 25, 20 over 25, 25 is being multiplied by 2 to get to 50. So 20 times 2 gives me 40 50ths. Well, 30 50ths and 40 50ths are not equal, so therefore 6/10 is not equivalent to 20 25ths. Now these last two examples are very similar to yesterday's notes, and if I'm going too fast, you could re-watch this or you could go back to the video from yesterday. Let's read through the example. 8/5 is what's called an improper fraction. The numerator is greater than the denominator. 1 1/3 is a mixed number. It has a whole number, the 1, and a fraction, 3/5. Remember, an improper fraction is a fraction where the numerator is greater than or equal to the denominator. Let's look at the example. Write 13, let's make this a 5, 13/5 as a mixed number. Step 1, we're going to do division. 13 divided by 5. We're going to go 5 into 13, goes twice. Multiply, 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract, remainder is 3. And we're going to write the remainder as a fraction. The 3 becomes our numerator. We're dividing by 5, that's our denominator. I can't simplify 2 and 3/5, though that is what 13/5 would be equal to as a mixed number. And on the last example, we're taking a mixed number and we're going to make this 7 2/3. We want to convert that to an improper fraction. So we have 7 2/3. We're going to use the MAD acronym where we multiply, add, and denominator stays the same. And we always start from the bottom and work our way around to the top. We start with multiplication. 3 times 7 is 21. And then we're going to add the 2. That makes it 23, and our denominator stays the same, 3. So 7 2/3 is equivalent to 23/3. Page 11 is the homework, and they correspond to all of the examples that we just went through. 1 through 3 go with example 1. 4 through 9 go through with example 2. 10, 11, and 12 correspond to example 3. And 13 through 15 correspond to example 4. So if you have any questions as you're working through this, that's where you would look back at your notes. If you have any questions, you could rewind the video, or you could watch the previous videos from the last 2 days on long division and equivalent fractions.